I know. Someone was supposed to decorate our front porch for Christmas, and they had a death in the family, so it's delayed things. And my kids were like kind of sad that the front was going to be decorated for Christmas before Halloween. Can you email? And then I was like, well, they actually are delayed because they had a family emergency. So it'll get decorated, I think, next week. But same, it's like November, so it's pretty much Christmas anyways, right?
I mean, I don't know that I would normally start until after Thanksgiving. The past few years, I've been down in Washington, so I just haven't had the motivation. But I will say there's like 3 or 4 weeks after Thanksgiving. So if you don't do it literally the day after Thanksgiving, you have them up for 2 weeks. And I don't have anything inside yet. So it's just lights outside, which is kind of nice and cozy.
Yeah. And then it's done and it looks great.
What is tricky, I mean, it'll be great for photography, but half of the things, so I have wreaths on all our windows, and those have lights nowadays, which is pretty when they work, but they're obviously all battery powered. And the way the batteries work is that they run for like 5 or 6 hours, but I don't want to waste the batteries. So I've hung all the wreaths, and then at some point next week when I'm ready to photograph, I'll have to climb back up and turn them all on at like 4:30 so that moving forward, and I don't know how long the batteries will last. I mean, is that going to get me through December? I don't know.
It will not. If it's the same ones we have, you will replace them at least once. Yeah.
And do I care to climb up and replace batteries? I don't know. Like, it's one thing to replace the batteries on the garland that I can reach.
Yeah.
But those windows may not be replaced. But that's the only thing I have to do. I figured out all the extension cords, but I have to go turn on all the batteries so that they're on the right timer.
Yep. I can't wait to see it.
Same.
I mean, I hope it looks cute. I did what I pitched.
Awesome.
Welcome to Just for Moms. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Kallie.
We are regular moms
talking about regular stuff
like aging, parenthood,
work-life balance,
and figuring out what's for dinner again.
A no judgment zone to talk, laugh,
and maybe cry
about all the things women think about on a daily basis.
This is sort of what I wanted to start with because Christmas has been on my brain, and I have a neighbor who had a company come in and do their decoration. So it's like lights around the perimeter of the house and places that I can't get to with ladders. And at our old house, the people across the street used to have a company that would come and with cherry pickers, like wrap all the branches, whatever. So if you had sky's the limit, like what would be your favorite? Like mine look cute, but they're definitely like DIY. It's clear that someone threw a bunch of net lights over the bushes and like tacked on a bunch of wreaths. What would be your ideal like Christmas? Caitlin, what would you do if sky was the limit?
Exactly what I would hire a company to come Clark Griswold my house.
But like lights what would it look like?
I would have lights. No. My husband does the lights on the outside of the bushes and stuff. And every year it's like this huge production because it's tangled and it looks bad, whatever. I would have someone outline my house. I would have lit wreaths. I would have a Santa sleigh on my roof that looks like it's flying, that lights up. And also maybe a sleigh in my front yard. And all the trees, everything in my backyard, there'd be twinkly lights.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kallie?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
That's what I would pick, same thing.
Have you heard about that viral Home Depot Santa sleigh, Charlotte?
Well, there's one that I pitched, but I don't know that it's viral. What does it look like?
So, because I looked at it, it's like $200.
Yeah, it might be the one.
Okay. So for some reason, this is viral and the hot item. So I was checking it out and it's, three reindeer and then
That's
Santa. Yeah. And I saw it yesterday because someone posted it and I was like, and it's in my cart.
So I'll talk about it now.
Okay.
So the way these partnerships work is that they give you like a PowerPoint of all the priority SKUs that you can shop from and you have a budget. And so for this, because it was holiday, they wanted me to get some tools and then some lights. And then they had a bunch of like yard decor and some of it was kind of cheesy, like Snoopy. But then they had that. and it's a pretty low price given what it is. And so I put that on the list. They were kind of slow. It's a new system, so they weren't able to get me my gift card in time. And I could see it. You know, they were like, add everything to your cart, give us the amount, and then we'll cut you a gift card. And I could see the, you know, online, like 5 available, 4 available. And I sent them my list and I was like, Santa, there's 1 left. So if you can get me this gift card like now, that'd be great. Cut to 3 days later, no Santa. Our store claimed they had a few. They're like, it'll be on the anyway. I had no idea this was viral, but it's part of my pitch deck and it's part of what and so I was like, I just kind of want this thing. I called Caitlin because in her local Home Depot, they show limited stock availability. And so when I called, they were like, yeah, we show that there's 1 on the truck, but it's first come, first serve. We should be unloading it tonight. And Caitlin was like, it's right around the corner. I'll swing by. First of all, when they say it's on the truck, I'm now learning that's just a load of garbage. It's probably what their system says, but don't believe it. And so I reached out and I was like, is there anything you guys can do? All these stores, PS, have the display version, but they won't sell you the display until it's closer to the holidays, which I don't know. Anyway, I'm going up to see Eleanor do her fall play on Friday. And so there is one in Nashua, New Hampshire that I purchased yesterday that is ready for me to pick up. It's the only one I found between here and Concord, New Hampshire.
Well, now I want it. Like, and I know that it doesn't exist near me.
Isn't that crazy though that I saw it yesterday?
I had no idea. I mean, it wouldn't make sense. Usually they have that one tree that everyone's crazy about.
I'll show you, Kallie, because you look really confused.
The only reason, and I'm not going to mention who.
I'm picturing like the same one from Christmas Vacation.
It literally is. It's the Christmas Vacation Santa that gets launched into the air, which is what I want on the top of my house now.
There was one in Norwalk, I guess, Charlotte, and someone, I'm not going to say who, went and scooped it that is on, you know, social media platforms, and that's how I saw it. And I was like, ooh, it's kind of cute, and it's $200.
Yeah, because it's like 9 feet. I mean, I think it's not quite life size.
Yeah,
that's the one that's in my cart, but I probably can't get it because it's only in New Hampshire where Charlotte has it on hold.
Yeah, shout out Nashua, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Okay, Megan, what is your idea?
Okay, so I love nutcrackers. I feel like if you could come over to my house and do everything nutcracker display, just because I was a ballerina, my girls are I love nutcrackers. So maybe next year you could do a nutcracker theme.
Walmart has some really cute light up nutcrackers. I saw them.
Okay, I'll have
Like
to
the
check
light up
them
ones, not like
Nutcrackers
the little ones.
had a moment a couple years ago. I like them.
Hobby Lobby, I need to go there. That's on our list. So yeah,
Michael's had some that were kind of cute. There's nothing that I like more than like a tree with individual wrapped branches of lights. The thought of doing it hurts my brain. I cut down a tree in our front yard, and the number of Karens that were like, you should have left it up and decorated it for Christmas. First of all, the tree was made of just razor blades. Those were the needles. But I was like, there's no way that I'm going to make this look cute. It's going to be my pet peeve. It's like 3 strands of lights that you can just see like in this janky spiral around the outside of a tree. No.
Was it dead too? Do you think the tree was dead?
No, I just didn't like it.
Whatever. I mean, you know,
I didn't like it.
It was it was blocking views in your driveway. I saw you cut it down.
I had one woman that was like, oh my God, literally crying over here. I would kill that. And I was like, okay, if this is what is making you cry, then you need to
you come dig it out and move it to your yard, lady.
Also, like, have you checked in on the state of the world right now? Like, my tree should be real low on your list of like things that make you weep. So I would individually wrap the trees. And then have you seen, I don't think it's quite viral because I think it's a pain in the neck. There is an inflatable Santa that is like 50 feet high that like the height of a house. And I've seen a couple people do it. It requires a real infrastructure because you have to be able to like tether it. It's like a Macy's Day Parade float. But I think that would be sort of fun and weird. So I would like that.
Yeah, I've seen those
fun
big
and
ones.
weird.
I would love to have, like, I've seen it where like you wake up and the neighbors wake up and It's like, whoa, all right. And you just see it like your neighbor with this huge inflatable on the front yard.
Our neighbors did it. It wasn't as big as some of I've seen, but up the street from us, a brother and a sister lived next door to each other. So the sister and the sister-in-law secretly went out and bought a giant Santa and put it between their houses to get their
perfect.
husbands fired up. It was outstanding.
What I like about it is that it's one thing that it makes it's like the giant skeleton. That's literally my Halloween decor is my giant skeleton.
But Santa popped and then your money is gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only downside.
Risky. That's risky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like this leads us well. Oh, we know mom fails. I was about to go right into the topic. I have a mom fail that I'm going to start with because I can smell it. Have you guys ever left your laundry in the washing machine
Every
too
day.
long?
Every day.
Well, I didn't have the laundry situation in this house is just teetering on out of control. Like the kids do it, but then we end up once a week, there's 7 baskets in my bedroom and someone folds, I don't know. I didn't have the heart to like run it again because there's just like a line of laundry to be done. And I should have because
you're smelling it. Yeah, it happens. It's okay.
Sure am. Yeah. Okay, who else has a mom fail?
Mine is sort of similar. It's just that like I just feel like it's been too long since I've changed my kids' sheets. Like for multiple nights in a row and putting them to bed. I'm like, and then the day passes and I haven't done it again. So that's mine.
Yeah.
Such an easy thing too. I don't know why, but
it's not that I feel like it's not that easy.
No, it's a pain.
Yeah. And the big kids bed is harder. Like I have 2 kids still in cribs. Like that's not hard. Callie, just do it. Like literally 60 seconds. The big kid beds is harder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wrote something down that I already talked about today. So my fail is going to go along with the laundry thing. My daughter's cross country season is over and I could have sworn I washed her uniform they have to turn it in today. Hopefully I'm going to put money on that none of her coaches are listening or anyone that's on the team. And I pulled it out of the dirty laundry and I just put it in the dryer with like 35 dryer sheets and then sprayed it with Febreze and folded it really nice and put it in a bag and sent it to school.
Yeah, perfect.
I think that's a win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Megan?
My mom fail is we took my son, my girl's little brother, Christmas shopping the other day. Huge fail. I don't know what I was thinking. I even bribed with sports cards before we walked in and it was still just a disaster. And I was like, why did I even do this? Because it's supposed to be like joyful. We're Christmas shopping. It's fun. And then it was like the whole time and whining. And I'm like, here's my phone, just chill. And it wasn't even into the phone. So that's my mom fail. Don't take the husbands or the boys shopping this holiday season if you don't have to.
Yeah, I support that.
Yeah.
Well, that too lends itself well to our topic. I think we talked about this on the old podcast, and it certainly is a good follow-up to our topic from last week about gratitude. But now that we are knocking on the door of holidays and holiday shopping, as a mom, I feel like I don't have a great system. And my worry is that there's always too much stuff. Do my kids appreciate it? How am I giving gifts and at the same time teaching them to be grateful? Like it's a lot to sort of balance. And I thought that we could maybe talk about how do we manage logistically the act of giving presents to children. And I feel like I remember people saying there is like a method to the madness. And then how do you actively teach your kids to be grateful? It's not just a day to wake up and like open things. I think as moms, we're doing all of the work. And so I don't necessarily want to walk around the house like, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did. But how do you teach your children to recognize the effort and the work that someone, maybe us, maybe someone else has put in to create the magic and joy for them? And I think I did come up with, I had never heard of this, but I was reading about the 4 A's of gratitude, and it's awareness, acknowledgement, appreciation, action. And then a quick definition. Awareness is just being mindful and noticing. So that makes sense. Acknowledgement is recognizing and consciously sort of valuing. So I would say just saying something about it. Appreciation is a deeper valuing and a feeling of thankfulness. So I guess that's maybe the feeling that you get from being aware. And then action is expressing your gratitude through actions like saying thank you, performing a kind act. For us, it's like thank you notes is sometimes like the basic thing we do. Anyway, what are your thoughts? How do you guys approach? Let's start with giving gifts, and what does that look like in each of your houses? Megan, what does that look like for you and your 3 kids?
So I'm all about the experiences and going on a trip or, going to a concert or somewhere. Now that I have 2 teenagers, my son, it gets a little tricky because he still believes in Santa. So I have to do some gifts under the tree. But I feel like I don't go and buy stuff just to buy it and have items under the tree. I buy things that they really need or like it's a need, not a want. I feel like these kids are spoiled all year round, and Christmas is just another, it's just, it's hard because, even when people ask, they want to buy them a present that has meaning to it. But then at the same time, you want to say, just get them a gift card, where some people don't want to do that. Like I know, like my sister-in-law was like, what do they want for Christmas? I'm like, well, the girls would take a Lululemon gift card. But she's like, well, I want to get them something that, they really are going to, it's always like she wants to get them something that they're going to remember and be like, oh, Kara got me that. So I feel like in our house, it's a lot of, just not buying stuff that we don't need because it's just accumulates and it's junk. And I feel like, again, that my kids got older, it makes it a little easier because they understand how Christmas works. And, I want them to be thankful for the things they already have and maybe the things that they're going to get. And I'm a big believer of the thank you cards too, Charlotte. We still do those after birthdays. We don't do them for Christmas, but I am all about the thank you cards, even the email going out or something, just to show gratitude and appreciation.
You just said something, and I'm just like stuck on this. How she says your aunt or someone wants to buy your children something that they're going to remember.
Yes.
The problem with that at Christmas is that they get so much that they will never remember who gave them X, Y, or Z unless they don't have a lot of family members giving them things, or they're not getting a lot of things. So there is something small. I mean, I'm just thinking of my own youth. Like,
agreed. Yeah.
Like, do you remember something super memorable you ever got? I mean, I can remember getting the Santa Claus on VHS for Christmas Eve from my aunt and uncle. And I vividly remember it because I wanted it so bad. But other than that, like, I don't remember.
Yeah. And we come from big Italian family on both sides. So you're right. It's hard. And I even tell our aunts now too. They're like, what do the kids want? I'm like, please don't get them anything. Let's go to dinner. Let's go out to dinner one night, all of our cousins. And that's what we did last year. We all went to Colony Pizza on a night in January rather than buying gifts for 30 cousins. And it was like, and the kids remember that, and they were giggling and having fun. So, plan a dinner or an experience or tickets to a show rather than, you're right, all the things they're never going to remember.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kallie?
Yeah, I feel like, so last year was the first Christmas with 4 kids, and Michael and I just like sat back and were like, this is too much stuff. Like, even we felt like we were fairly minimal to begin with. Like, when we had always in the past followed this something they want, something they need, something to wear, something to read, but you just lose the thread on that. And then when you add in family members too, and then now, so, my 2 older kids want to be able to buy presents for their siblings. Like, it just became way too much. So this year, I mean, we're going to try our best. I mean, you never know once you get into it. But I mean, the good thing that we've started from the beginning in our house is that in our house, when Santa comes, he only brings one present. He brings one present the kids really ask for. So that's, thanks Santa. That's lucky for us in our house. And he fills the stocking. So like, that's just one thing. It's like the one thing that they ask for Santa. I made a list of things to send to family that was like, I basically was like, we have 4 kids and I can't have 4 presents for 4 kids times every like, it's just too many toys that they're just never going to play with. So Michael and I sat down, like made a list of things. Like some of it was like restocking consumable stuff, like arts and crafts. Some of it was books that the kids really like, or like additions to toys that they use. Like our kids love their Tonys and their Yodos. And we have a dollhouse that all of the kids use, a Melee one. And I sent that out and I was like, these are things, you know what I mean, that can get added to our house that like the kids will legitimately play with and is not just going to end up in Goodwill. I mean, I said it much nicer. And luckily everybody has been really cool about it. So that's just how we're trying to, and then Michael and I were like, we're going to get one gift that's a family gift from us to the rest of the kids. But yeah, I love your idea, Megan, of the going out to dinner. I feel like, Charlotte, it was you at one point that mentioned, maybe it was like your grandma, or maybe it was your mom did for your kids, where they would get them a McDonald's gift card and then they would take them out to, was it you who said that?
Me.
I
think it was me. Yeah.
And then they would take them out like on a one-on-one grandma date to McDonald's. I'm like, stuff like that is so much better. Like kids are so much more excited about that. I find that like, yeah, especially last year, like it was just overwhelming. The kids are not even enjoying it at a certain point. Even like I said, being sort of minimal about it, or I would be really good and get them like practical gifts. I'm like, well, they need snow boots. It's still just too much stuff. And I do think it totally takes away from like the point of Christmas. And I'm like, with 4 kids, if everybody gets a gift from Santa and then there's like a big gift from us and then all of the 8 million others, I'm like, that's more than enough of what needs to happen. So yeah, we're really trying to rein it in because it's just a bunch of stuff that nobody needs or wants. And
yeah, our tree is insane on Christmas morning with this, you know, there's 7 people and you know, my sister and I do give each other an experience. So I'll give, you know, she has 5 kids as well. So we will, and maybe the experience is like gift cards to, what's the convenience store in Philly that people go crazy for?
Sheets.
No, well, Sheets, but there's another one that's like hoo-ha or woo-woo.
Wawa. That's fun. Wawa. That's fun.
Hoo-ha.
Or like one year it was the local toy store. So she'll be good about saying this is a place the kids would enjoy. And it's, but I feel like now the horse is out of the barn a little bit. So if there was a year when it was like, guys, we're going to go away for the weekend instead of opening a single present, my kids would be like, that's not fair. We really want presents and we want to open them. And I get that because I love opening presents. And that is the unique and special thing about Christmas. But I also feel like I'm not very organized. And so I'm not buying like garbage just for the sake of wrapping it. Like there is usually like, oh, you need sweatshirts, so here's a sweatshirt, or like this would be a good learning game. So I do try to get stuff that will be used, but I just don't keep track. And then all of a sudden I've purchased 3 or 4 things for everyone, and that's like the tree's buried. And you know, sometimes we're now at the age where one of the kids wants like an e-bike and the other one is like, I just want a baseball hat. And so you're like, in my brain, it's like, if I'm getting one e-bike for this kid, then this kid should get, I don't know. You can't help but do the math of the cost. Yeah. I don't know. Caitlin, your kids are disparate in age. Have you figured this out?
It's so bad. It's like bad to the point where I said to my husband this year, I'm like, we got to figure something out because we have so much stuff in our house that was from Annabelle's child, like little times, to then Eiley took it over and then Arbor needs to take it over. And I've tried to get stuff out of my house so we don't have it anymore. But like, why did Santa bring 2 American Girl doll kitchens a year apart. Why would he do that? And then you just have them in your house. And this year I'm going at it as I did the same thing last year, where I get the kids' lists. I pick the big ticket items on the list and pass it out to the grandparents. And I say, you may not buy them more than this. This is what they want. Please just get them this. Don't throw a bunch of activity books and markers and paper in here or whatever, because I have enough arts and crafts supplies to donate to the school, 2 schools. Like, we don't need any more. Unfortunately, or experiences, or pay for things such as like an art camp that they want to go to. And then Santa always brings toys or whatever. Santa used to bring clothes, which was really silly of him to do. And so now we gift clothes or shoes that they need.
Yeah, it makes it hard to return when it comes from the North Pole.
Yeah, you can't do that. There's no return label. So really, to answer your question, I have not figured it out. I have no idea what we're going to do. It's going to be a madhouse. I think my biggest problem is Christmas Eve. We host every single year, and everyone comes to my house that's on my side of the family. And so my parents come, and then my siblings come, and their children come. Then my sisters' in-laws come, and everybody brings presents. And it's like the supermarket sweep of rushing to open your things, and the kids don't even know what they open by the end of 30 minutes, and everything's done. And usually the little ones are now crying that there's no more gifts. No one even knows what they got because it was so chaotic. So last year my mom said, you know what, I'm going to not bring any gifts to your house, and I'm going to pass them out Christmas morning. But then you come Christmas morning, they just opened all of Santa's stuff, and now you're bringing over more toys. Yep. So they don't give my parents the reaction that they want. And then I have 2 sets of in-laws who ship things that we FaceTime and open. And you talk about excess things, like, it's insane. And you can't have experiences coming from grandparents who live out of state because it doesn't work that way. So I don't know. I love it, but I also feel like I want my children to be truly thankful for what they get. But how do they know what they're like? They don't even know where it came from.
Yeah. Right. I know. I think it's hard too, because I think as a parent, like we worry so much about Christmas morning, right? That there's something there that they can open, and that's how we end up with these, like we're sort of saying, where we're like, well, they need sweatshirts, so we get them sweatshirts, or I've done the winter boots or the new lunchbox or whatever, just so there's things under the tree. But I think this year that's what, like, Michael and I have agreed that, like, we're just stripping that away. Like, it's just, even if some of it's staggered, like we do Christmas with my in-laws earlier in the December, because they come up from Florida, and then my dad comes like at the end of the day on Christmas. And I'm like, so even if it doesn't matter that they're not opening a bunch of stuff on Christmas morning, again, like I said, with 4 kids, and then Michael and I are there, and then we have stockings, and my mom comes and spends the night Christmas Eve. Like, there's more than enough stuff that's being opened. I think some of it is just like the idea in our mind of what we think is supposed to be there. So that's sort of what we're like, we're getting rid of, like, the fluff, the sort of like, oh, well, they have to have, there's going to be more than enough stuff getting opened that I don't know. we have to stand fast on it, but that's where we are.
Do you guys ever feel pressured when you're talking to other parents about what they, that they're getting their children who are friends with your children? Because I sometimes feel pressure to be like, well, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Is that,
I don't know. I think it's hard. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that my kids are maybe Miles now finally this year are at the age where they're like comparing notes with friends, but I don't know. We've always just done this. I mean, it's the same, like, you guys know that we don't do birthday parties for the kids until they're 5 and 10. Like, it's just always been like, that's how we do it in our house. And like, it is what it is. But I think, yeah, I mean, it's the same pressure. Like I was mentioning before, it's like, you feel like there has to be this sort of whatever on Chris. I'm just keep reminding myself, like, to like validate it. I'm like, that doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it more magical. Like, it sucks more when there's all of that stress and chaos in the morning. So like, I keep reminding myself, like, it's going to be like a better, like we're gifting ourselves like there's still a million presents coming in. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And social media makes it hard too. Cause like the other day there was some like lip gloss that my girls wear that they're coming out with a holiday edition of it, and it's different flavors, and they're like, one's texting it to me and I'm like, we already have the summer flavors that you don't even use. Why would we need the holiday flavors, you know? And then like Starbucks is coming out with some teddy bear drink thing. Did your girls see this, Caitlin? Hopefully not. And I'm, you know, it's just all these things that they're seeing on social media, so then like they want them. And then one thing I want to say we did, but it didn't work. Amongst all the cousins, we all picked a name out because there's like 40 cousins, you know? And last year we didn't even do it because the year before we did it, and it was just a way, like it wasn't needed either. We were just like, even doing, rather than buying for 40 cousins, we all bought for like one family. And even that, I said, we don't need to do this anymore. Let's, you know, and we went out to dinner. It's just, they don't.
I love the dinner thing. I think that's actually a really great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute. We do, you know, I'm now thinking, it sounds like none of us have a great answer for not buying our kids too much garbage. But as far as like trying to create a little bit of gratitude in the mix, so it's not just like tearing into it. My kids, they do Secret Santas for each other. And that is usually just a fun. So like the gifts that I will get are the lunchbox or the boots or whatever. But the gifts that the siblings give each other are just this wonderful little sweet insight into like what child number 2 thinks child number 5 would be interested, or like, yeah, she was telling me the other day that she really wanted this. So that is sort of an opportunity for them to think about the recipient and, you know, put themselves in their shoes. What would Louisa want? Because I think part of gratitude is recognizing, you know, it's not sacrifice, but recognizing what the other person, what thought went into it. And so I love the idea that they have to think about their siblings. We didn't do it last year, but one thing we did a couple of years ago, which I'd love to do again, is we went around the neighborhood and we had a little, I think, what did I put in there? Like a thing of hot chocolate or like not a candle, probably hot chocolate. And we put them in a little bag and we gave them to houses that we thought had really pretty decorations with a little note that was like, thank you for making your house so pretty for the neighborhood. So that sort of forced them to think about like, these people worked really hard to do this, and how nice is it that we get to drive by it every day. And then on the day of, I think we do what we can to not have it be like chum in the water. So they wake up, they have to wait for a certain time before they can go and see whether Santa came. We still have 1 or 2 believers, and Santa comes for everyone. And so we have to wait for that. And then, you know, just slowing down the whole process, like, oh, you know, Arthur, why don't you show us what you got? It forces them to recognize that this is something they've been given. And then we will have like a nice brunch and everyone will help with that. And then we'll move on to presents under the tree. We do Christmas with my in-laws the next day. So that, I do think slowing things down is an interesting way of sort of giving space for gratitude, and all the 4 A's that I've already forgotten, you know, awareness and acknowledgement and all that.
I like the idea of slowing down. I would like to, I just like the whole holiday season. So having 2 December babies is really difficult because we end up having 2 family parties before we even host Christmas Eve. Yeah. So everyone's brought gifts to my kids twice already. Mm-hmm. Or to one of my children twice already. And so I'm just sitting here thinking, wow, this would be really nice if I can't do it now, but maybe when my kids are a little bit older, saying, hey girls, can you care if we extend your birthday and maybe do it in January? Totally. You know, can we push this out, because it is a lot, and I want you to take a moment to sit there and, like you said, what is the effort that someone went into buying this gift for me? Yeah. I mean, I have some family members that do very, very thoughtful things, and sometimes my children don't even notice what just happened because there's so much going on. Charlotte, you mentioned the Christmas lights. We've been doing that now for maybe since I think we lived in Georgia, we did it. And I print out a card and it says, thank you, making spirits bright. Thank you so much for, the hard work you put into your home. Love the Houston family. And we print it out, we glue it to construction paper, and we used to do it one night. Now we do it almost all of December. And I keep them in my car and we just drive around town and drop them in people's mailboxes. And last year, I think, was the first year that people in our community forum started posting, hey, does anyone know who the Houston family is? I got this.
Cute.
Tell them thank you. And so I would share that with my children. And, because a lot of people do a lot of work to put up stuff outside, but we also do homes that are like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree house. Like we always, because if it's cute and it makes one of us in the car happy, then we give them a little
giant
note.
Santa.
Yes. You would get like 3 notes.
That's right. I force my kids, if I recall, to go knock on their door and actually have some face-to-face contact, which is a nice little exercise too.
I like that.
Yeah. I like that too. Yeah, the one that's sort of been tricky for us that I thought of, Charlotte, when you said that your kids do Secret Santa, obviously we have 2 that are not old enough to do that yet, but I love that idea because I feel like last year was the first year that it like really entered the chat where it was like they wanted to buy for each other too. So we've been trying to think about how to navigate that. I love the idea of the Secret Santa when they get older that they each can just get one sibling. But our thought this year was like that maybe we would take the 2 older ones that care about buying, like just like to the grocery store and be like, buy some snacks, that the other ones really like, because like, it's like useful. I joked that that's what we did for Opal's birthday, but like, it was great. It was like snacks and she ate them because otherwise we just, you take kids into a toy store to buy toys for their sibling. It's just, we're just going to end up with stuff that we don't need. So,
or if they're too young, stuff that they want. It's like, no. I think Opal really is going to want like the He-Man doll.
Yeah, like we can't take them into a toy store to buy toys for each other. So, because we even debated, we're like, well, we can just take them to like Goodwill and let them pick some. But I'm like, it's still just crap in my house that I don't really want. So that was the thought. Or like go take them to Old Navy and let them pick out like a sweater for each other or something.
Age is definitely like my middle daughter, she has a nice group of friends and she will do Secret Santa with her friends, which is sweet because they'll do it a week or 2 before Christmas and they have like a very strict $10 limit. And, it's usually just like Sour Patch Kids and like some janky lip gloss. Like it's very sweet. And then they just get together and I think they decorated like sugar cookies and hot chocolates. So that I think those occasions, obviously, when they're little, you can't do. But I think that's a way of appreciating the season. And, when the kids have to do it themselves, they do tap into like what we're going through. They have to learn about the planning and all right, like do you have the money? I don't know that I give her the money. So it's like, if you don't have it, you need to do a job and earn it and then go get. And then for a while, we would also do you guys make presents with your kids for anyone else in the family?
Eiley makes presents on her own. Last year it was either last year or the year before, she took cardboard and made something that everyone like gifted us all a piece of cardboard that was something that we would like. She's my little artsy girl. But I love the idea of making things.
Right. I made presents like living in New York City because I didn't have any money. And I remember making presents for every grandmother and aunt. And it was like, that was my love language. And I've tried to do that with my kids. It's easier said than done. And I can't always come up with a project that they can all execute that'll be cute and not just stupid. But that's always something that I'm trying to think of too, is like, how can I get them involved in the gift giving process?
Well, like ornaments, we haven't done it in a while, but we would make ornaments for family members different ways.
We've done ornaments. Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Or Gianna last year, she made frames for everyone. And when I say everyone, it was like everyone. So we went to the dollar store and she wanted to do it. And she's off her electronics and she bought frames and then she put them on the dining room table and she painted one each color for like Joey. It was blue and Joey likes soccer. So she bought little soccer thing. So it was like we went to the dollar store and it was like she was so excited about doing it. It took her hours and we still have one of the frames up, and, it's just stuff like that. When they really get into it, I feel like it makes it fun for them.
Yep. We've done bookmarks, bracelets.
How do you
bracelets are easy.
Bookmarks? What do you do? I love that idea.
Oh my God. My mom is big in the bookmarks, but like you can do, we have a little laminator, so you need ideally a laminator, but they could just draw whatever. My mom's done them where they've like painted different stuff and then you cut it out and then they kind of collage it. That's always an easy one. And then they can like put their name on it. And then we still, I feel like we're far enough away from COVID that like, we cook stuff. So like I'll have my kids help me cook, make fudge or cookies. That's good for like the neighborhood people or teachers.
That's a good idea. We did one year, and I think I got this idea from a friend, where I had the kids each do a drawing. And I think at the time they literally did a collage of sorts. So there was no pressure to finish it. They could just do whatever. And then whether it's Shutterfly or like I had it turned into notepads, so you can have the drawing as the header and then it'll be like the Houstons, the Brancifortes, you know what I mean? Or photos feel a little indulgent. But yeah, you can turn artwork into like useful things.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a like company that
you can cut up their artwork into bookmarks or make it into a notebook or
or the placemats. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, we did that one year. Not that the grandparents used the placemats. It was just more fun for the kids.
But it's sentimental and it teaches them that you don't have to spend $1,000, not $1,000. You don't have to spend $50 on something. You don't have to spend $20. You can
make something. Yeah.
I just wrote all of this down. I cannot wait to tell my kids. We are making gifts this year.
Yep. I know that's a big one. I feel like I'm trying to bring back, like I was thinking about teacher gifts and just like all the little odds and ends people that we haven't, those like little extras. Like it's like you think of all the people and then you end up with all these. And I feel like in the past I've always just like, if it sounds like I just like throw money on it. I'm like, here's a gift card, which is fine. But I'm like, maybe I can do like, it's like I do a smaller gift card and then like, can I just like make something or do something with it? Because like at the end of the day, I feel like most people, especially like I always think about like teachers or people who are like doing something for you, like providing a service of some kind. It's like, they just want to feel appreciated. You know what I mean?
I think we made bread one year for teachers. And I think giving baked items to teachers, I get it. It's always a risk. Yeah. Like I feel like having been a teacher, I didn't care. I ate it all. You know who you're dealing with, but for the most part, I was like, this has all been cooked. Like whatever. Yeah. And so I had my kids make little bread and then I put it with like a nice like fancy jam. So it was like, if you pitch the bread, you still have the jam. It's like win-win. And they can see that the kid was involved. And so for me, Christmas can be so frenetic and it's easy to do everything on our own. So any chance that I can include my kids is kind of, I don't know. That's one of the methods to my madness is just get them involved whenever I can.
I think I'm going to make granola this year.
That's a good idea.
Because those poor teachers, including you back in the day, Charlotte, they don't need another mug or candles.
No.
No, I got ornaments that I still set up, but like even ornaments, it's like we can't get them all on our tree, guys.
Yeah, my friend has a student, she teaches STEM class, so she's had this child for a couple years because she will have this child till they're out of 8th grade, K through 8. And every year the child's mother makes a salt scrub in a little mason jar.
That's so easy.
And and every year it's a different scent, different flavor, and she does nails on the side. So she'll always be like, guess what kind I got this year? And it smells so good and it works so well. And they're super easy to make. So that's
so it's literally salt, like a good olive oil or a grapeseed oil. It's stupid easy, and some essential oil.
Exactly.
Okay, I did find a couple of stats, not that anyone needs convincing that like gratitude is important, but I thought of you, Caitlin, specifically for this first one, because you do the journaling, right?
Yeah, well, I haven't in a long time, but I was a solid streak of about 6 months.
And Callie, I feel like you're good for a journal. I have never been great at it. But this says regular gratitude journaling, which in my mind is just the act of thinking about something each day that has made you feel grateful. It's shown to result in 5 to 15% increase in optimism, which is not a ton, but I'll take it. And then 25% increased sleep quality. Like, all right, just thinking of one thing you're grateful for, like, why not? There's no downside. And then over 90% of American teens and adults indicated that expressing gratitude make them extremely happy or somewhat happy. Again, that feels like Captain Obvious, but I think we sometimes forget that it's like the easiest way to feel good about life. Is just to be grateful.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, let's move into pits and peaks. Megan, do you have a pit or a peak?
I have a peak. We got rid of Gianna's kind of babyish desk, and she got a vanity for her birthday, and we cleared a lot of stuff out of her room now that she's a teenager. And she said to me that, Mom, now that my room feels more clean, like it motivates me. So she's been making her bed in the morning, and like she, you know, been folding her clothes and putting them back. We'll see how long this all lasts, but I'm gonna roll with it. So that was my peak.
What is yours, Kallie?
I have a pit. So I don't know if I told you guys this. So over the summer, we got a pet tortoise.
I did not know about this.
No.
Yeah, okay, so his name is Vern. We spent 6 months learning about tortoises, and we decided this was the pet for our family. Yes, he is going to live until he's like 90. We got a tortoise that's 20 years old already. Adopted him from a family that this is pretty typical because they live so long that typically they will change hands, maybe 2 families or 2 or 3 families. So he's a Russian tortoise, so not one of the huge ones. He's about this big. Okay. And we got him, and everything was great at first. They're very funny. They're sort of like finicky, and they're very particular. And so we were told to expect about a month for him to like fully adjust to being in the new place. And that seemed like he was doing. And then all of a sudden he just like stopped coming out and stopped eating. And so then we're like, we kind of know about it already because I forced the kids to like learn about, and of course now I've become a tortoise expert. So we have learned that we think he's self-hibernating because this kind of tortoise, if the environment indicates that he should hibernate, he will, but nothing about the environment we've created for him says that he should hibernate. So then we've started doing all of these things that you're supposed to do if your tortoise is self-hibernating to make him not. So we're giving him warm water baths, and we've adjusted the lights, and he's still not coming out. So I finally have to take him it's been long enough. I'm like, I need to take him to the vet. Something might be wrong. So we take him to the vet, and they think he has an upper respiratory infection, which is just making him do this. So now, in case you're wondering, how do you give antibiotics to a tortoise?
It's got to be up the butt.
Nope. It's through a shot. So now I've had to learn, I don't even know where his butt is, behind his tail, I guess. I've had to learn how to give shots to a tortoise. So just add that to the list of things I didn't think I'd need to learn in parenthood. And so now I have to give the tortoise
5 children.
shots.
You have 5 children.
5 children.
Yeah.
6
plus
if you include
Olive.
Olive is
I know. What's Olive think of the tortoise?
Olive is not allowed to. She's actually a few times seen it, and we have him in a raised thing. It's sort of like, think of like a raised planter. Yeah, it's this big. They're called tortoise stables, so she can't see him. Luckily, otherwise she'd probably go crazy for Vern.
You might have to break your social media or your. I don't know how you could find this. There's a tortoise I follow on TikTok, and I think it's called like Tiptoe the tortoise, and it's a giant one.
Oh no,
they live in California, so the tortoise's like habitat is the backyard. Yeah, and it's all about what they feed the tortoise. They had to evacuate with the fires, and so it was like how to get the tortoise into the truck, and they go for walks around the neighborhood. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Wait, are they like human?
We watched this. Yeah, I mean, the kids
are they like humans? They have emotions.
No, they're just sort of funny. Like, they're very finicky. And then I ended up speaking to this woman one time about tortoises. And she's like, oh, yeah, my best friend's mom has tortoises. She's like, and they each have their own little, they do have their own little person. I wouldn't say there is like much of a personality as like a dog or a cat necessarily. But like, they each have their own little things that they think and they care about. You know what I mean? Like, they're sort of particular. Oh, wow. Yeah, so probably some kind of tortoise. Yeah. No, Vern is not big like that. Yeah. He's just
does Vern have more personality than Olive?
Probably, yes. Because Olive has none. So not hard to beat.
Wow,
So anyways,
Kelly,
that's my
where have you
pitch,
been
is that
hiding
I-
this
Vern
tortoise?
is sick, and I have to give him shots.
Can
and
he
soak
come
him
on
in hot
the next
water.
episode, please?
Huh?
I would love to see him.
Oh yeah, I can bring him out.
How did you find a vet for this thing?
Bring him out, and he like sticks his little. I have to wake him up out of his self hibernating, and he's like, oh, is it time to get up? I'm like, Vern, get out of the thing. So he's very funny.
But
yeah, you have to go to
interestingly,
an exotic vet.
Turtles are not allowed. You can't sell turtles in Connecticut. I feel so. Turtles must be different because I know that our Petco, there's a bunch of turtles in a tank, and there's always a sign that's like, Connecticut law, we're not allowed to sell. And it's like, so why? Like,
why do you have them here?
There is a lot of weird rules. I think tortoises are somewhat similar. There's a lot of weird rules about some people like get them from the wild, and you're not supposed to do that. And you're only supposed to have like captive raised tortoise, blah, 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 blah. And like I said, we originally were going to get one that was like a few years old. Cause if you get them as tiny babies, that's like a lot of work. You have to like manage their humidity so much more closer and all of this, whatever. And then because they live, the breed that we have typically lives 60 to 80 years. We're like, let's get one that's like, like past, but you can't just like get it from Joe Schmo because you don't know where he got his tortoise from. So we went through a tortoise sanctuary is what we did. We're like, it's like adopting a dog, right? Yeah. But yeah, there are weird rules around it. And they say like you should never buy a tortoise from a pet store because you just can't trust like the quality of how they were raised.
I've talked about John Occoquan on the podcast, haven't I?
No.
So the Occoquan River is nearby where I grew up in Virginia. Maybe a lake. I don't know. We went there fishing once. I must have been 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever. I was not whatever. So we found a box turtle, and my parents, I'm sure I was like, can we keep it? And my parents were like, sure, bet.
Why not?
And so we drove home an hour with this box turtle. We named John Occoquan and put him in our little tiny backyard, which was the size of my dining room. And this turtle, bless his heart, I think for 3 or 4 years, it would just dig a hole somewhere in the corner of our yard, and then we'd wait for it. We didn't do anything. But can you imagine being like, sure, let's bring it home, kids?
Yeah.
That was our turtle.
I was telling a story the other day because this woman was telling me she went to a medieval fair. And I was like, I remember going to a medieval fair in 8th grade, an 8th grade field trip. And I came home with a lizard. I'm like, who let me do that?
Yeah. How about the goldfish?
Yeah.
We ended up with a goldfish, and they were like, you're going to need a 20-pound tank for this carnival goldfish.
Oh, yeah.
They were right.
The worst. Yeah.
It lasted 4 years. By the time I went to flush it, I was like, this is going to clog the toilet.
Yeah.
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 Oh, my God. Who's next? Caitlin, have we
Me.
done you? Okay.
I have a peek. I confirmed with my roommate that I'm allowed to go do this. Have you seen where moms can it's like we had the best idea ever. We got a hotel room and we wrapped all our gifts and then had a sleepover.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of my friends in our dance mom circle got us the penthouse at the casino. And we are all going in a couple weeks to wrap Christmas presents and
that's cute.
and have a sleepover.
Oh, that's fun.
That's so fun.
I'm very excited.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
That means you have to get all your shopping done in a few weeks.
You have to bring all the presents. So that's what I always think about that. I'm like, you're lugging it all up to the hotel
So
room.
Because I do keep our gifts usually very organized, but that will force me to get things done before. And it's going to help me because I also have to wrap my in-laws' gifts that they send here for my children.
Yeah.
So I need to get this out of the way.
What I always do for birthday parties too, Caitlin, bring an empty,
suitcase
with all the stuff. I do that at the birthday parties too. So then at the end, you put the gifts and whatever the heck is laying around, sweatshirts, whatever, and throw it all in there. And then you can wheel it out rather than carrying 40 million things.
I have this envisioned in my head.
You got it down.
Sounds fun.
Planned. You're ready.
I'm pumped.
What is yours, Megan?
Oh, I already did mine.
Did yours the vanity?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I know we got involved with the tortoise challenge.
I know. Sorry.
That was
I knew that one
exciting. I'm
gonna go
happy
down a
about
rabbit hole,
Vern. Mine was a peak finding that apparently viral Santa. This is such great news. So now I'm going to pivot and give a hit because it's I don't know. It's a stupid one, but I just, when there's no way that you would have known something, but you feel stupid that you didn't know it. And it's, anyway.
Yeah.
all my son wants for his room are motorized blackout shades. And I found a company that was doing a thing, and I partnered with them. And when you're doing shades, you know, you can have them, they can roll out or they can roll in. So typically I always do my shades rolling out because I don't want to see the like backside of the roller wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I didn't even think about it. And I just had the shades. It's like picture a roll of toilet paper. You can either have the paper going over or under. So when I'm doing blinds, I always have it going over because I don't want to see the back.
The roll.
And so I just did that for these, but because I don't know if it's because they're whatever, they stick out from, and our windowsills are kind of narrow. Point is, they stick out like longer than I expected, and so there's a little crack of light around either side because they come away from the window. The room is plenty dark, and like little Pookie doesn't need it to be like pitch black, but this is also the child who puts like Post-it notes on the letters of his window air conditioning unit because like the
lights bother.
The lights were too
him.
much. Yeah. And I'm even thinking about like deconstructing the whole thing and like putting them back on the other way. But I also am like, I need to let it go. There was no way you would have known, but it's like, I feel like I was so close.
Oh,
but that's.
I remember that when we got shades and blinds here, Charlotte, too, when they come to measure, because it's like that little, right?
Yeah. I just didn't. I mean, I told him, I was like, buddy, I've never ordered from this company. I didn't know. And he's very cute. He's like, that's fine. But I'm like, oh, if only I'd known. Anyway, so we did it.
Yay.
I think this is airing. Is this airing right before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Well, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Well, you already have.
Thanksgiving.
You're probably listening to this while you're Black Friday shopping.
Yeah. Don't get too much. Gratitude.
Remember the 4 A's.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Leave us a comment, rate, and review. We are grateful that you guys are all listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.